Let's talk about IP addresses. As you can see, I've already logged onto this router, and I've typed in the show IP route to view my routing table. This is my routing table. As you can see, I have two directly connected networks. The first one is a network with several users on it. The second one is a router which also has a network with several users on it. If the two networks at this point want to communicate, they would not be able to, because although I can reach one network that has several users on it and the router that has the other network on it, I don't know where that other network is at. And so what we need to do is we need to enter a static route. To enter a static route, I have to be in the global config mode. So I'm going to type in my configure terminal, or conft, and in here I'm going to use the command IP route. I'll type in the destination network address. So in this case it's 192.168.1.0. The subnet mask that I'm using for that, which is just a /24 in this case. And then the next hop IP address, which would be the router that's hanging off the serial 000 interface. So in this case, that's a 192.168.30.2. I'm going to hit enter. At this point, I can exit out of this. I'll do my show IP route again to show you that, in fact, it has created an IP address, and the next hop is 192.168.30.2. I'm going to type in here a ping command to ping a host that is sitting on that network, which is 192.168.1.20. I'll hit enter and it's successful. All right. Now the problem with this setup is that when it sees that the next hop is 192.168.30.2, it has to do a second lookup, or what's called a recursive lookup, to find that this is the network that's attached to, and it's on serial 000. So it needs to look up the actual interface that it's going out of. So maybe a better solution for this is to actually have this say serial 000 instead of 192.168.30.2. So I'm going to go back into my global config mode. I'm going to recall my command that I had entered before for the static route, and I'm going to put a no in front of it. I have to take this out before I type in my next command. I'm going to hit enter on that. I'll recall the command again, but in this case I'm going to delete the IP address and put in serial 000 interface. I'll hit enter. I'll exit out of here. I'll do the show IP route once again. And in this case, now we reference serial 000. It doesn't have to look up the IP address. So now the question is, why do we even have the IP address? Why would we need that? Well, in this case, this works because the serial 000 is a point-to-point. The protocol that it's using just sends out a broadcast on the layer 2 address is a broadcast address, so it reaches the other side. However, if this was a fast Ethernet connection, we wouldn't just broadcast this out. We would need a MAC address that it's going to send this packet out to. And so because of that, we do need a IP address. So in that case, what we could actually do is we could reference both in our static statement. And to do that, once again, you have to be in global configuration mode. I'm going to recall the command I just typed in, put a no in front of it. I'll type in IP route. Well, let me just recall my command I had typed before. And in this case, I'm going to still reference serial 000 and then put in my next hop IP address. So in this case, 192.168.30.2. And then we reference both the interface and the next hop, and this would be the ideal for Ethernet. So that's how we set up static routes within our router.